Good morning, folks. How are you doing? I am Scott. That is Bo. There is a co-pilot in the co-pilot seat. Would you like to guess as to which one it is? It's Cricket. I have to exploit her. You can't see her because I'm fat. So, good morning. Monday morning, bright and early, 9:30 in the morning. I'm going to avoid talking about what happened with the shooting. Another mass casualty event. I usually do this. I give it a day or so to let the fucking narrative shake out. Let them work the kinks out. Because it's too easy to go in there, and a lot of people do that and say, oh, they said this, and oh, they said that. But a lot of that, sometimes that's legitimately fog of war shit. Sometimes that's the news making shit the fuck up. So rather than focus on a snipe hunt, sitting around with a bag waiting for the snipes to be driven to me, I kind of wait and let them see what shakes out. I have to say, to start off with though, it seems rather suspect. However, they didn't use an AR this time. They didn't go with the old AR assault rifle. By the way, an AR is not an assault rifle. Just so you know. You can't... assault rifles are already banned, have been banned for a while for ownership by individuals. Unless they have a special license, a dealership license. An assault rifle is something you can switch from fully automatic to semi-automatic, which means you pull the trigger and it shoots once, to what's called burst fire, which means you have a third setting, which means you can pull the trigger and it shoots 3 rounds. The old M16 is a prime example of that. And of course, Pat Tillman and his family and loved ones will tell you all about how dangerous those things are. When your own fucking teammates, brothers in arms, frag you. Because they don't like your opinion about the war. Very dangerous weapons. Weapons of war. Obviously. So an AR-15 is not an assault rifle. But they didn't go with that this time. They went with multiple... In the early stages, there were multiple descriptions of the shooter. Shooter was at 2 different places. He went from one to the other, and the other one he was disarmed by heroes at a dance hall, the second dance hall, and then the 72-year-old man left. They knew he was dangerous. One guy said because he had instinct, his primordial instinct told him. This is literally what the guy said, that he was dangerous. And so they disarmed him, and rather than keeping the 72-year-old fucking frail man, he got away. Only to be found later, shot in the head. It's interesting for many reasons. Yesterday I was watching, and here I am talking about it. Yesterday I was watching the county sheriff, LA County Sheriff, talking about the situation. And he said that he had been to one of the 2 locations, not the third location where the guy was disarmed, but he did mention that happened at another location, but he wasn't sure if it was connected. He said that yesterday. Turns out it was connected. Somehow or another, the 72-year-old man lost control of his gun, but was still able to escape the 24, 25, 26-year-old people who were there to dance, was able to escape and get away from them. he said that of the two locations, the one location he had been to was where the people had been wounded, but a location he hadn't been to yet, and this is the sheriff of the county sheriff, the guy who's really in charge. He said he hadn't been to the location where the people had been killed. Meaning, again, this is early, this is, according to what he said yesterday, there are two different locations. One where a dude came in and shot up a bunch of people, a 72-year-old man with a handgun, and 10 people were sent to the hospital, some of which hadn't been shot. They had been injured trying to escape. But there were no fatalities there. There's another location where everyone's dead. 100% fucking kill ratio. By a 72-year-old man with a handgun. The same 72-year-old man who was disarmed by a bunch of fucking tweeners at the third location. So, odd, yes. The choice of weapon, telling, it was an evil semi-automatic gun, a weapon of war. It's just a gun with a clip. It goes bang, bang, bang. That means semi-automatic. It wasn't a machine pistol. But it had an extended clip. So, of course, they really want you to have muskets. That's all you get is a musket. A musket and a slingshot. Nothing more formidable than a butter knife. That's really what they want you to have. That's it. Again, they don't know his motive. He just went crazy. Lots to look at with that. I'll be looking into that today, and we'll do a video on that tomorrow. Let's talk about Antifa. We know what Antifa is. Antifa is the black bloc of the current iteration of black bloc. They did some the new Black Panthers or Black Muslims, whatever the fuck that was. The FBI put together. They were running around. They had a bunch of them with guns down in Atlanta about 2 or 3 years ago, and they were doing fucking training with their guns. And one dipshit, his gun went off, and he shot 2 of his brothers who were in line doing the fucking, trying to look militant and look like they were, badass, scary black men. And he shot 2 of his fucking brothers. And so I think they kind of petered that one kind of petered out a little bit. But they might still show up here and there, who knows. But the Antifa one, the commies, the Antifa one is just fucking ridiculous. They have attached themselves to something taking place in Atlanta. Now, I want to say this for the fucking record. I am 100% with the people in Atlanta who are protesting putting this cop training facility on a piece of property that is slated to be used for the betterment of the people of fucking Atlanta. It is supposed to be a big 3,500 acre open preserve to keep nature in harmony. People can come. They've got little facilities planned. I'll show you the whole fucking map. They got facilities planned. It's a beautiful idea. It's been going on since 2000, and people have been fighting for it and pushing for it for quite some fucking time. And now, since 2021, along comes the sold-out fucking Atlanta City Council, and they propose to hand over 85 of those acres to cop training land, cop land. Which means what? It'll be a nice facility they can show off when they bring in the fucking Israeli terrorists from the IDF to come train police in Atlanta how to try to treat Atlanta citizens like Palestinians. That whole knee on the neck and knee pain submission and submission positions and pain submission points, that all came from fucking the IDF, boys and girls. You can thank the IDF for George Floyd, because they trained U.S. cops how to do that shit. The most moral army in the world. Fuck them. Pieces of shit. Anyway, so like the park in, remember there was a Gissem Park, whatever it was. Giza Park protest in Turkey. When they were going to privatize this park in the middle of the goddamn, I think it was it Istanbul? I don't know where the fuck it was. Big city. And of course, State Department, CIA, DIA, Department of Defense, they saw this as an opportunity because the actual people of the fucking city did not want this park privatized because they use it with their children and they take fucking kids from schools on fucking day trips to the goddamn park. But no, they wanted to privatize it, tear it all down, put some goddamn bullshit there for business. And they said no. People protested that shit. Then we sent, using the target of opportunity theorem, we sent in fucking destabilizers into that legitimate protest. This is what we fucking do overseas. Thanks to Barack Obama in 2012 NDAA, this is what they can do now here. You'll notice Fox. They're terrorists. You think they're helping by telling the truth about what Antifa is. Look at that cop car burning. You think Fox is telling you the truth. What you don't understand is the ones that they are calling out at Fox for saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They're calling them peaceful. This guy can't even pronounce a dude's fucking nickname, by the way. That's how much effort he put into it. Hold the flyer here so I can move the camera around and get a fucking shot of the fucking fire. That's whatever fucking this show was. That Sky News and fucking Fox said, oh, we got to talk about that. They're trying to say they're peaceful protesters. But they're not trying to say they're peaceful protesters. If every goddamn shot they show is the cop car burning. They are all doing the same fucking thing, including CNN, MSNBC, ABC, New York Times, Washington Post, and Fox. And what are they doing? First of all, I don't know how many fucking times, I'm old, and I've covered a lot of protests. Here, in fucking Oregon and Washington D.C. and Canada and fucking Toronto, WTO, fucking. I've covered a lot of fucking protests. And what do you see happening every single fucking time? First of all, you see infiltrators getting into the crowd with cop shoes and cop pants. And the cops, once they're fingered by the people in the real protest, going, yeah, cop. The cops will arrest these guys and get them out of here. Protect them. The cops. They're called agent provocateurs. That's what Black Bloc is. That's what Antifa is. That's why Antifa has latched on to this very real and justified protest. Cop car. There's always a fucking cop car left in the middle of the street, unattended, which gets set on fire. Sometimes they actually have the camera crews from CNN, MSNBC, NBC there to film the black bloc, agent provocateur, Antifa folks setting it on fire and then dancing on it in a nice cinematic mode for those of you who play video games. So I can get the pictures, get the shots. Oh my God, they're out of control. They're crazy. They're burning shit down. The cops set their own cars on fire at least once in every one of these fucking protests. It is a fucking cliche. And Fox News shows it. Oh my God. They say they're peaceful protesters, but look, there's flames. CNN shows it, MSNBC shows it, NBC, New York Times, fucking Washington Post, they all fucking show it. And that's why they do it. That's why the cops do it. What is the point? Go back to January 1st. (2021). The point is to demonize any form of protest against what is happening. Six people have been arrested and charged with terrorism in connection with this. Six people. All of whom, by the way, except for one, were from someplace else. The youngest one was actually 20-year-old Graham Evett, and he's from Decatur, Georgia, which is right there. All the rest are from some other location. Here you go. Here you go. This is Atlanta Live, Channel 11 Live. I don't know if it's Fox. I don't think it is. They're saying, oh, it's a peaceful protest, but what are they showing? What's the one thing they're always showing? That's right. A burning cop car left in the middle of the street, unattended, for the black bloc guys to set fire. Oh, they're crazy. They're crazed. Okay, I got to shut this down. So you guys want this? Look at this. It's 11 alive, but it's fucking my goddamn recording up because that thing is moving. Let's talk about what they're actually fucking doing. Okay? Here's the deal. This is the South River Forest Plan. It's been around since 2000. Longer than some of you guys have been alive. And the idea is to create a nature conservancy, as well as all of these lovely little areas here. People live in some of these areas. Their other areas have trails and paths and different kinds of fucking things for people to do. It's a nice location, which is, by the way, just on the outskirts of, here it is right here, Atlanta. There's Atlanta. This is the area. Right here. Right off of East Atlanta. It's going to be connecting to part of East Atlanta. It's basically this area right in here. Now, what's also in this area, it's a 3,500 acre, big difference. It's a 3,500 acre plan, proposed area for a conservation area. Would you please fucking go away? God damn, just go away. It's a conservancy. It's something for people in Atlanta when they want to fucking when they want to relax, maybe take their kids out and learn something about nature, it's a good idea. And it's a proposal for people of Atlanta and DeKalb County, because it straddles Atlanta and DeKalb County. Okay? It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. Again, Giza Park. It's a good idea. People need that kind of stuff in a city as wild as fucking Atlanta is, and as highly and overdeveloped as Atlanta is. It's a good idea. They came up with the idea to take part of it in 2021, the old Atlanta prison farm. The old Atlanta prison farm is about 85 acres, and it happens to be part of the South River Forest proposed conservancy. They want to give the 85-acre facility the old Atlanta prison farm, so let's give you a little context. Again, this is the area we're talking about in here, right? And this is the old Atlanta prison farm. I guess that's the old Atlanta prison. Back in the day, in the glorious day, they used prisons much like the Nazis used concentration camps. They would put either industries next to them and make the fucking prisoners work as slaves for business. They're still doing that, by the way. Or they would make them work the fields, literally like slaves. And this thing was open for about 50-some years, maybe 50 years, 70 years, 1920 to 1990. There are limited historical records. Why? Because the slaves would be worked to death and killed or beaten or hung or killed by other fucking inmates, and they couldn't have that because it made the model look bad. Ever seen Cool Hand Luke? You basically get the idea. They want to take 85 fucking acres of this beautiful planned location, planned project that would benefit the people of Atlanta and hand it over to the police of Atlanta. Basically, this section up in here. Now, the facility is the planned proposal for this of the South River Park area is 3,500 acres. So you would think 85 acres isn't a whole lot. Well, that's true. And again, I can't stress this enough. I do not support what the black bloc protesters are doing, the Asian provocateurs, the Antifa fucks are doing, breaking windows and shit like that. I don't support that because they're there to make the protest look like criminals, terrorists, if you will. Because that's how we view anybody who stands up for themselves and stands up for and peacefully protests. You are all terrorists. Case in point, January 6th, insurrection of January 6th, which I have to say it. I have to call it. I have to say it that way. That's their plan. That's what they want to do. So when somebody has a legitimate fucking protest going on, they're going to insert, just like they did in Giza in Turkey, they're going to insert disruptors. And then they're going to have the cameras rolling there to say, oh my God, look at what the fucking protesters are doing. And they'll smear by association. This is what we fucking do. Okay? Unfortunately. But here's my thing. 85 of the 3,500 acres seems like a small amount. But it's not. It's the beginning. First you get 85 acres, and you get 105 acres for this plan, and you get 215 acres for this fucking business. And then you're going to say, you know what, we can make a free trade zone, and it'll employ people in Atlanta, and we can bring in businesses from South Korea like they did with fucking in Haiti, the Clintons did in Haiti. And we can use the other 2,800 fucking acres we got for this thing. We can level it and put an industrial park free trade zone. And all those fucking people coming in across the border illegally, they can work there for $3, $4, $5 an hour. That's how they do it. Through incrementalism. Say what you will about the fucking police training facility. Even that won't stay at 85 acres. They're planning on breaking ground on 85 acres. But as you know, and I know, cops don't like it when people are anywhere near what they're doing, especially when they're training. So they need another 100 acres surrounding it, all fenced off, that nobody from Atlanta can get to, because they need plenty of space to do their little business, their little training business. When they bring in the IDF to train them how to fucking treat Atlanta citizens like Palestinians. So the 85-acre facility becomes a 185-acre facility. And eventually, that whole thing is chewed up. Because it's there, it's owned by the city, but we got to privatize. It'll be chewed up. And this generation of young people who are actually out there protesting this stuff, and they mean well, and they're right to protest it. They know, even if you don't, even if Tucker Carlson doesn't, or the guys on Don Lemon doesn't, they know that during their fucking generation, during their life, they will see that 3,500 acres gone. Bit by bit by bit. So they are taking a stand. They are protesting. And they are peaceful. The agent provocateurs, the black bloc, the Antifa, the fucking assets from the FBI, DIA, State Department, military, they're clearly not. And police, they're clearly not. And they're the only ones who will get any attention. And if this continues, think about what Fox News is doing. Fox News has you who support the protesters that were involved in January 6th in 2021, in Washington, who had every right and every reason to be there protesting that goddamn shit, that election. You support them, but you're going to fucking demonize them. Because some fucking cop dressed up with a mask on his face, dancing around in the middle of the night while CNN was waiting to setting up their shot, set fire to a police car. And for all we know, that used to be his cruiser. Was it Malcolm X who said the press will have you cheering for the oppressors and damning the oppressed? Something to that effect. I should have memorized that. I did a long time ago. But that's what age does to you. This is a sad situation. The South River Forest, this project, I certainly hope they protect it. It deserves protection. And no, they shouldn't even give away one fucking square acre to a cop, quote unquote, training facility. If the IDF wants to come over here and teach Atlanta cops how to treat Atlanta citizens like Palestinians, they can do it in the fucking parking lot at the City Hall. They can rent a fucking Sheridan fucking ballroom. Besides, I haven't looked into the facility, the plan for the facility, but I'm almost sure that it's going to be handed over to, I don't know, one of these privatized fucking military groups to train Atlanta cops. And they'll bring in other cops from other places to learn their IDF fucking techniques on how to deal with protesters. Because we know all protesters are terrorists, especially as we move into the Great Reset. There will be a lot of people protesting a lot of things. So this is just a good way to kick it off. Actually, they kicked it off with January 6th to demonize all fucking protesters and turn them into quote-unquote terrorists. This is just a continuation of that. So whether you were on the right or on the left, it doesn't matter. This is poison from the same fucking poison tree. It's too fucking early. It's too late, actually. I'm usually up by 5 making fucking videos. There's a new fucking teddy bear, in case you didn't notice. And I use Cricket again for Anyway, I thank you guys very much for your time. It's Monday, and I hope you guys have a good Monday. Get out there and be somebody. Like I said, tomorrow, I'll be looking into this afternoon and this evening more on what happened. This shooting with a 72-year-old guy who's apparently in one location, 100% killed. In another location, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I thank you for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.